I told you in my last video that y'all was playing with the track. Y'all playing with the track. Hey. Hold on.
Yeah, I ain't you ain't me. Nope. Leave me alone, let me be. Yeah. Shady rare, I agree. Yep. But they be trying to throw the trick. Miss me with the ball. Yep. Mine paid up in full. Yeah. One thing that for sure. What? I'm gonna go and get her. Bag, 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 bag. Count it up 'cause it go fast, 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 fast. She just wanna throw it. Bag, 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 bag. For a hitter or some cash, 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 cash. Hitters call me Mike down. Women call me right now. Only if you bad though. Meet me at the bando. Everything low key. Know you got a man, yo. It's great that you play my tape. I know you're not a fan though. Whoa, I got the neck on speed now. I got my neck on freeze now. I got the check on me now. I don't rep the women, I freestyle.
Hey, and I'm back once again. It's the Uncle, and welcome to another episode of TUBARS, the Uncle Versatile Review Show. And this week, of course, I couldn't leave this ball out. My man Vic Mensa is back with There's a Lot Going On. I'm going to consider that in a little bit. But you know how I do. I got to tell y'all about what I was listening to these past few weeks. I was gone. I had a lot of stuff going on. I was here. I was there. Doing some work around the crib. But, of course, I got to tell y'all what I was listening to while I was doing it. So this week I was able to grab my man Fabulous. Dope new mixtape out. Black Mamba, my man Smoke Dizza, George Kush the Button. You definitely don't want to miss out on that. He always brings the bars. And Phoenix by my man Young Dro, ATL representative. He's actually getting a whole lot better, y'all, so make sure you check that out. And the old head, I mean, this boy's been around for years. The Symphony, you know, Marley Marl produced. My man Craig G is back with I Rap, I Go Home. Really, really dope MC. Got some dope features on there. And Jacquees and Birdman. Lost at Sea. I picked it up. I haven't really been able to get into it. But I can tell you, man, Birdman, can you please just stay off these artist stuff, man? Because you really gonna mess up these boys' careers. Just let the ball just sing. And surprisingly, an album that began very, very good. And I'm talking about The Kitchen by my man Jim Jones, the Dipset representative. The production is really, really dope. I wasn't a huge fan of the Dipset back in the day, but I can tell you, Jim Jones, he started this off pretty good. And Jean Grae, I've been waiting for this girl for years. You know, she's one of the best MCs out, and she brought out a nice little EP called I Swear to God. And if you miss out on this album, then you just not a true hip-hop head. You sleep. Please wake yourself up. And I'm talking about Havoc and Alchemist's new album, The Silent Partner. The production, the bars, Havoc brings it on this album. And I'll be back after these messages.
This man Dollar. 16 bars, just ain't enough lines. I done sold more in one call, ducking one time. I'm talking more than one time. No dog, this ain't a punchline. Get punched for lying, leave you lying from the.
Hey, and I'm back. Once again, it's the Uncle, and welcome to the second segment of TUBARS, the Uncle Versatile Review Show. Before I hop into the Vic Mensa review, I just wanted to talk about his label mate. Roc Nation's been trying to sign some really, really dope MCs. Shout out to Jay-Z for trying to get the label back up and running. And he doesn't disappoint with the signing of my man Belly. Another Day in Paradise is this piece of work that this boy brought out. So I'm a hop right in. It's all love. That's how the album begins. It's a nice track. It's laid out really, really well. The production is dope. I love the little lost ones in the chorus. It has like a little reference of that. And it's just basically talking to the fake dudes who say it's all love when they know that it's really not. And at the end, he got my man The Weeknd on there, which makes for a really nice track. Then we get into Money Go, which features none other than Travis Scott. And the production on here is really, really dope. You can hear that Travis Scott influences, and it's basically he's asking, where's the money that he's making, where's it going, and if we find it, can we please let him know, because he's just blowing it here, there, and everywhere. Then we get into Ballerina, which is basically like a stripper song, and I can tell you, it tries to shed a little respect on the stripper life, but nah, it's no respect there, unfortunately. So when I got halfway into that, skippies. And then we get into Exotic, which features Waka Flocka. Now, Waka Flocka, you know, he's one of them dudes that I really couldn't get into, but I can tell you, he actually does a really, really good job on the chorus. And you know, you kind of hear him yelling in the background, but it's not overpowering how Waka Flocka normally is. So I actually like that track, surprisingly. Then we get into a really, really dope song called You, featuring Kalani. Now, I like how at the end of each line he uses the You sample, and it's a really, really nice track when Kalani just lays her soft vocals over the chorus, so you definitely don't want to miss out on this. And the title track, Another Day in Paradise. Now, this is a street banger. I don't know how tough it is up in Canada, but this boy evidently got some street cred. And, you know, he basically just goes through what he went through and the regrets that he does not have. And he got like some really, really dope lines on here. I was kind of surprised. He got a line where he says, "Keep on effing with me, it'll be your own grave." You dig? So I really, really thought that was dope. Belly, keep on bringing it hard. Now, another track that is kind of okay, but it's not one of my favorites. It's called Favorite Color. And, you know, he basically he tells us about how he used to hustle, and he warns us about the informants in the game, trying to stay away from that. So that's actually okay. Not really one of my favorites. Then we get into one of the dopest tracks on this album called God Bless. Now, on the back end of this album, this boy brings it, all right? He got some kind of little spotty things in there to feature with Lil Wayne I'm not really feeling, but on this God Bless track, I'm going to tell you, he's asking God to bless your grind, whatever you do, bless his grind, whatever that may be, and the track is just hard. You definitely don't want to miss out on that. Then on the back end, we get into Amsterdam. He got a feature with Juicy J on there. And he ends this album really, really good with a track called Angel and Demons featuring Be Real from Cypress Hill. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. I'm going to rate this album and I'm going to be out of here. We're going to hop into the Vic Mensa. On the Uncle Briss rating, I rate niece to the uncle in this album. What's up, cousin?
So we back at it, working hard to change tax brackets. Came from the hood, new jailbirds, and crackheads, shot backstabbers. No man walking this earth perfect, it's hard as hell to shake bad habits. No girl walking this earth perfect, these niggas now make it hard to manage. Hop up a bitch, got in the game, put in that work, it was destined to change. Give all I got while I stepped to the grain, and I kept it 100, my niggas the same. Lost, all I ever prayed for on my knees at night was to make it out.
Hey, and I'm back, and welcome to the third segment, TUBARS, the Uncle Briss Review Show. And you know I couldn't leave y'all without talking about my man Vic Mensa. He been running around with Kanye, and I guess the running around with Kanye has paid off because my man got signed to the Roc. So he's brought out a nice 7-song EP. There's a lot going on. Now, we know his plight. We've seen Vic Mensa in the past few years. He had that nice Trap House Rock album that came out a few years ago with Kids These Days, and his mixtape, which was pretty solid. the Anon tape, which has some really, really dope tracks on it. And we know about the collabo with Kanye, You Mad, that came out a few weeks ago. So we seen Vic Mensa making some power moves in the last few years. So I'm going to hop on into There's a Lot Going On. Now, this album actually begins with a really, really dope track. I guess because he signed to the Roc, he felt as though he needed to name this track Dynasty. Now, this is produced by Poppy Beats. The whole album is actually produced by Poppy Beats, which, you know, I thought it was going to sound the same going through, but it's actually, it's a lot of the tracks sound completely different. So this particular track goes through his plight, his signing with Roc Nation, which is definitely a good look for Roc Nation right now. And I can tell you, Vic Mensa's wordplay is needed for hip-hop today. Most of these dudes be sounding the same. So shout out to Vic Mensa for just being original. And then we get into 16 Shots. All right, now this track is laid out so good as he talks about police brutality, and he talks about how our youth is in trouble and how he's definitely prepared to take revenge if these things keep happening. And then we get into Danger, which is just like a street banger, all right? And he brings some really, really good wordplay on here, and he just goes through a few things that excite him that are dangerous. So really, really dope track. And then we get into New Bay. Now, you know, y'all know how I feel about these little auto-tune tracks. These dudes sound like Future. This is just one of those tracks. So, you know, he kind of goes through how he has a new chick and the things that they're going to do together. You know, it gets a little explicit at the end. So when I came back for the second listen, of course, this particular track, Skippies. Then we get into Liquor Locker, featuring none other than Ty Dolla $ign. Now, Ty Dolla $ign, you know, normally when he hops on a track, really, really dope. His choruses, his melodies are really, really good. But on this particular track, it's not a real highlight for me, you know, but I know the true Vic Mensa fans will probably appreciate this, you know, doing stupid stuff when you get drunk. So once again, in a row, two of them, Skippies. And then we get into Shades of Blue. Now, this is one of the tracks that I really, really appreciate on this particular album, or EP rather. This track, it goes through Flint, Michigan, the water crisis in Flint, Michigan, the reasons behind it, and you know, I love in the chorus where he says, if it's going to be a change, it definitely depends on you and I making that change and trying to help out the people of Flint, Michigan. So really, really dope. Vic Mensa, shout out to you for that. And then we get into the title track at the end. There's a lot going on, and this is a really, really personal track by my man Vic. I mean, he talks to his fans about his past sins. He talks to God about forgiving him for his sins, and you know how his drug abuse led to domestic abuse, which is really, really dope because a lot of people don't talk about these things. So shout out to Vic for recognizing that, and actually how he got the connections to Jay-Z. And Jay-Z wasn't really chasing him, but you know, he felt like it was a good move for him. And you know, he's now signed with the Roc. So all in all, this is a really, really solid piece of work. It's just a little 7-song EP. I'ma rate it, even though it's short, it still deserves a rating. So Vic Mensa, what's up, cousin?
Colors of the culture, the toast of the dance hall. They call me the solution, the problem I can't solve. So get up.